really bad, looking so innocent. Bossy predicament. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. You mad while I'm getting busy. Country girl running your city. Attitude bad on Sadiddy. He only 2 times from the he out like a lack, call him Ricky. And honestly, it ain't no cap in it. These know ain't no cap in it. I like with a stack in it. I'm riding, stop it, cause it ain't no acting it. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. Leaving my mark like it. I see no biggie. Call me Hillary, stay at the bank. Making moves like I'm hiding in shank. I'm low key, but I pop out in blank. It's bun on my knife, stop trying to look. They do not come for me. Fake, I can't keep no company. Only the real.
This Lion fan base have been craving home playoff football since this building opened in 2002, and they've got it today at Ford Field in Detroit. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25.
Here we go. Check right.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And some room to run now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on first down. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 18 more yards there and another first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
42 yards for him already. An excellent drive to kick off this divisional round matchup. That might be an understatement.
Ready,
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Second down and a run by Robinson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about where one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll get about 5 here, so he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Chase Lucas. And the Lions are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they're going to rely on the...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
Second and 1. And this complete to Mitchell. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
And the Falcons are going to get the football back at their own 17.
That pick hurts a little extra because it was third down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
That's what you call a rookie mistake.
68 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. On first and 10, it's Robinson.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a second and 3. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Second and 3. And complete to Drake London. They find some open field here. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39. That one goes for 24 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10.
Here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10.
Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's only able to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll drop to throw. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Robinson up the middle. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On third down, Robinson. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Here we go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
He's airing it out for Williams. It got his man complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Back to throw now on first down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Step. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he's got room. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On play action, they'll throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And with a 14-3 advantage already, we'll see how much they want to try to push things, if at all.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw.
Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. They'll look to throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Lions continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is is up to 18 now.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. Looking downfield for Jones. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked off by Kirby Joseph, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaughan. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds his man complete. It's Gibbs. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards.
And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
The quick slant caught. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he stopped immediately there.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal.
It's a quarterback sneak, and this time he breaks the plane. He's in for the touchdown.
The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Pulls it in at the 13.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it, and this is scooped up by the Lions.
Down the right sideline.
And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in the meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Right, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
On 2nd down, it's Gibbs. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a 1st down at the Falcons' 19-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Ready?
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And in for the Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Lions take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now a throw here to his running back. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Now back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Another big play as
as they get 28 out of that one.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's complete to Williams.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches.
He's got this complete to Williams.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a first down as well. They'll try and sneak it here. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
It's their quarterback. His second touchdown of the night.
And the Lions are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this fourth quarter lead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Man open, here is Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
He's still on his feet.
Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. 54 yards.
And the Falcons are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Koo able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I would never.